Hello friends, Drew here in Westfield, Pennsylvania, this basement that we are working on. I wanted to show you something that we need to get into when we start talking about framing. We've already passed our framing inspection, things are happy, but I want to show you something that Norm put together and did before we went through that process. There is a book of industry standards available, and I don't remember what the exact number is, whether it's 3/8 of an inch over 4 feet or over 32 inches, something like that. In my head, it's a ridiculously large amount. 3/8 of an inch would mean that this level could rock on these studs up to 3/8 of an inch over 2 or 3 studs. That, to me, you'd see that going down the wall. So Norm's always looking for a 1/4 inch inside of 6 feet. That's what we like to do in our jobs. And so there's a technique that we can use. The lumber today, sometimes you get straight stuff, sometimes you don't. And you just get the best, do the best you can when you're installing them to have them flip the correct direction so that they all kind of line up. But sometimes that's not always possible. So we're going to show you one of the techniques that we can use to sort of straighten lumber, if you will. No, we don't have a board straightener. We do have a board stretcher. No, just kidding. One of the things that we can do with a couple of these studs were sitting out, and they were proud of where they needed to be to give us that 1/4 inch over 6 feet that Norm's looking for. So one of the things that we can do to correct that is to cut this kerf in here into the studs. This isn't a structural wall, it's really just here to support the drywall. So we're not necessarily hurting that on that sense by doing this. And so what we've done to get these in line is to cut a couple kerfs and then drive nails, push them back where they belong, and then drive nails to hold them in place. And that's going to help straighten out this wall so that when we put drywall in here, you're not going to see any humps or bows or dips in this. Now, if we do a 1/4 inch over 6 feet in a basement, you're never going to see it. It's going to look beautiful. It's going to be very functional. It's going to do what it needs to do. If we were doing a kitchen, when we do kitchens, there can't be anything that's out of whack. If the wall leans in, if it's got a big hump in it, when you go to do your countertops, when you go to hang the cabinets on the wall, when you set the base cabinets in place, if that wall is not string line straight from one end to the other, all the way down, then you're going to have a challenge with those cabinets trying to get the faces to align up. And there's nothing worse than having a kitchen where you've got the faces where you can't get them to line up correctly so that you can drive the screws into them to join them together. So we really want to make sure that when we're doing a kitchen space, that we are string line, stick straight, exactly the way it needs to be, so that whatever we do on the framing side impacts drywall, which then impacts cabinetry, which impacts crown molding, trim, and the granite or solid surface countertops going to go in. So it's really important that, there's guys that subcontract in 15 people to do the framing from this, from that. If the framers don't know what they're doing and the framers don't prep properly, the guy who's hanging the cabinets is going to be not too happy. And since we tend to do most of our work in-house, especially on kitchens and bathrooms, it's our guys doing it from start to finish. So we know that whatever we do in the framing, it's going to come back to bite us if we take a shortcut when it comes to doing the cabinetry. So it's sort of, not that we don't do everything right, but it motivates our guys to even more so be on the lookout at the framing stage to make sure that we're not going to hurt ourselves and put ourselves in the corner down the road delivering a beautiful finished product. There are ways, we've had kitchens where we've come in and just done cabinetry on somebody else's walls that were already built in a 100-year-old house or 40-year-old house, whatever it might be. And then we do kind of get stuck either adjusting the cabinets or shaving drywall or shimming cabinets. But it adds an awful lot of extra time in order to get that quality coat built look that we're looking for. So if we have the opportunity that we're framing it from scratch, we're going to look for a stick straight, string line straight wall before we hang drywall. And when we're doing a basement, 1/4 inch over 6 feet is more than within what the realms of acceptable. And like I said, I think industry standards is something like 3/8 over 2-3 studs over 32 inches or 1/2 inch over 4 feet, something like that. It's crazy. So that's what we know. That's what's going on. I wanted to show you how we were able to cut these and get them so that they are correct, push them back into alignment, and then get the level on there and make sure that everything is straight. So we've done that a couple different places around the basement. We had this wall here where the studs that we were able to acquire weren't quite as straight as I wanted them to be. And then we've also got these guys over here that we had to do one there, and a couple on this wall. But all in all, at the end of the day, when we're finished, this is going to be beautiful. It's going to be straight. It's going to look awesome. So if we can help you solve a problem, if we can finish your basement, renovate your kitchen, take care of your bathroom, build you a deck, windows, doors, siding, exterior, roofing, just about anything that goes on in your home, we can help solve that for you. Take a picture of what's going on and send it to our team right here on Facebook. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel, click that little notifications bell so you can get more helpful tips from us when you're building your home and doing your work. If you're looking for a contractor to hire, 484-748-0008. Choose option 2 for 𝗂𝘁 Construction and Renovation, and extension 2 for new projects. Fastest way to reach us is, of course, to message us through Facebook Messenger on our business page, facebook.com/𝗂𝘁 𝗂𝘁 Construction and Renovation, your Pennsylvania home improvement contractor, number 88078. Remember, when we're done with it, you'll be proud to say it's not just done. It was 𝗂𝘁. We'll catch you guys in another video. Bye for now.